The issue has been discussed thoroughly. What I would like to do is to offer some clarifications. First to Farzana Sahiba, I would like to assure you that it is not for Pakistan to give up the rights of the Kashmiri people. Pakistan has no right to give up the decision of the Kashmiri people to exercise their right to self-determination. And you can rest assured that Pakistan will never do that. We may be weak, we may be strong, that is immaterial. But support for Kashmir will always remain permanent until such time as the Kashmiri people determine their own future. Second, there is a congruence of views between India and Israel. And India is in fact following the rule book of Israel. There is a greater Israel map, there is the Akhand Bharat map. There is demographic change in Palestine. India follows with demographic changes in Kashmir. Israeli advisors sit in India to advise India on how to suppress the people of Jammu and Kashmir as they are doing in Palestine. And the two countries have developed a nexus, which you spoke of breaking, but I think it was Masood Khan Sahab who spoke of breaking. I think it's practically impossible to break that now because of the shared views of India and Israel supporting India to the hilt. Even during the recent May skirmishes and pre-war events, Israelis were supporting India to the hilt.
Their advisors were present on the Arab.
Absolutely, yes. The Israeli drones were being loitering around with loitering munitions over Pakistan. And this is an axis which, in fact, operates in Washington as one. The Israeli lobby, AIPAC, and the Indian lobby work together in the American Congress to promote the interests of both India and Israel. Third, reference was made to IWT. Let me say that international law on water resources, transboundary water resources, is very weak. There is only one United Nations Convention of 1997, and there is a Helsinki Agreement, European Agreement of 2004. But the rights of lower riparians have never been defined. It only talks of equity and reasonable use by both upper riparians and lower riparians. And therefore, the Indus Water Treaty is much stronger than international law on the subject, because the last article of the treaty, Article 13, states clearly that the treaty cannot be modified without the consent of both parties and in the form of a new treaty agreed to by both parties. Nor can it be rescinded by any one party. It has to be with the agreement of both parties. So international law-wise, Pakistan is in a very strong position. But we must never forget that Pakistan is already a water-stressed country, among the 10 most water-stressed countries in the world, and the holding in abeyance of the IWT, which allows India not to share information with Pakistan on the flow of the rivers and other issues regarding its plans to build run-of-the-river projects on the three rivers, western rivers of the Indus Water Treaty, Jhelum, Chenab, and Sindh, will allow it to take away water from Pakistan, and it is an existential threat for Pakistan. As such, we must begin work now internationally, explore all international law avenues open to Pakistan, including the UN Security Council, the UN General Assembly, the ICJ if possible, and other legal bodies, including the Sixth Committee of the UNGA, the Second Committee because it affects our economic rights, the Third Committee because it affects the human rights of people. All of them must be now agitated. Let's not wait for something to happen, because something has happened already. The Indians have made their intentions clear. The last point, the fourth point that I wanted to make was about liberation struggles. The United Nations has always supported liberation struggles of occupied people. And there are examples which exist. For example, ANC, the African National Congress of South Africa, the SWAPO of Zimbabwe, the SWAPO of Namibia, and the two parties ZANU and ZAPU of Zimbabwe. They were all recognized by the United Nations as liberation organizations, and they were struggling militarily. So any people under occupation have the right to liberate themselves through the use of force. It is absolutely legal and accepted. So therefore, let's not shy away from supporting the Kashmiri struggle for liberation, even if it turns violent at times. There is no reason for Pakistan to be afraid of supporting the Kashmiri liberation struggle, even if it is violent. It is being carried out by people under occupation. It is being carried out by people who are being suppressed, whose land is being taken away from them, whose people are being killed, whose children are dying, whose economy has been destroyed totally. So what does the world expect from the Kashmiri people? To lie down and die? They will struggle. They will continue to struggle, and we will continue to support them. I think we should be very clear in our minds that the UN Security Council's resolutions cannot be changed. The United Nations has stated on various occasions, whenever a question has been raised at the United Nations about the validity of UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir, the UN Secretary General's rep or even the UN Secretary General himself have declared that the resolutions continue to exist and continue to remain to be implemented until such time as they are either changed or rescinded by the UN Security Council. And this is not likely to happen because Pakistan will not allow the agenda on India-Pakistan relations under which these resolutions were adopted to be removed from the agenda of the UN Security Council. So let's be clear that legally we are on firm grounds. We must not change our posture legally. And we must continue to support the Kashmiri struggle, irrespective of the perceived weaknesses or strength or the size of different countries. As has been stated earlier, it's not size that matters. Eventually, right will prevail. And we must continue to stand firm on the side of right. And we must, in this context, continue to stay on the side of the Kashmiri people. One last point. In recent days, there has been rumor mill in India saying that India might accept or reinstate the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir without Ladakh. There are also rumors that they might also break up and make Jammu and say separate state and Kashmir a separate state. We do not know the veracity of those rumors, but we must be ready to respond to those rumors if they should happen to be true. And our response should always be that Pakistan does not recognize Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. We do not go into the merits or demerits of Article 370 or how it was hollowed out. It was always illegal. It will remain illegal, even if it is reinstituted. We must stand firmly on the fact that the basic fact is the right of the Kashmiri people to exercise self-determination through a plebiscite organized under United Nations auspices, not any other auspices. And we must continue to work on the world to come to our view, not change our views in accordance with the wishes of the world. Thank you very much.